Pop Quiz. You're a fledgling YouTuber who recently had your best year on the platform, only to take a hiatus following months of serious real-life issues, including a collapsing roof and eroding mental health. What do you do for your first video upon your return? A. Review the latest thing and call it woke trash. B. Cover real-world events that you've barely been paying attention to. C. Weeb mess. If you answered C, Weeb mess, then you guessed right. Congratulations.
Be ashamed of who you are.
Not ashamed of who I am.
In all seriousness, guys, it's good to be back. I really needed that break. Like, you guys just do not understand. Now, I do want to note that it's going to be a while before we pick back up midweek waifus. My backlog for videos for this channel is absolutely ridiculous. This is not to blame anyone but myself. So, in order to get caught up, I'm going to take care of those. I am not dropping midweek waifus, trust me. I love doing that series, and I know you guys really appreciate that too. That will be coming back. By the way, the characters in the background you see are all from official pages and concept art for my original comics, The Spider Circle and Bond of the Blade, both of which have free material that you can read right now, or preferably after you watch this video. It's completely free. They're on Tapas. You can find the links for both right now in the description of this video. So let's talk about some weeb shit. Somebody on the Bird app decided that we need to have a nice little thread about cancelable anime takes. Let's go through these and see how many actual bad takes there are. If you get mad at people for skipping anime intros, you're annoying.
Day damn one, Vivian. Day damn one.
Every anime doesn't necessarily have a banger opening, but anime are known for having the absolute fire and banger openings. I'm talking about the oldest of the old, going all the way back to Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, that gif of the fat dude dancing to this shit is it's widely used for a reason, okay? Because you just don't turn. Who the fuck is out here skipping past the intro in 2022? Like, just literally, who does that? Maybe if you've seen the whole series before, or if you're well into it and you're like binging or something. But if this is your first few times, go ahead and watch that shit, man. Just get your life. If the Dragon Ball series were any more slowly paced, it would be a snail.
Delete this shit!
Not every manga needs an anime adaptation, and adapting a comic into an animated medium doesn't automatically elevate the experience of the story. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Absolutely 8,000% agree with this person. I mean, come on now. The biggest example of this I can think of is Berserk. I recently started reading the manga of Berserk last year, and seriously, we're talking about pure dark fantasy. The absolute beauty, the epicness, the horror, the grotesqueness, the heart-wrenchingness. This is true. This is 8,000% true. And it even applies to things that are beloved and known worldwide on a scale that truly launched anime into such a worldwide phenomenon, like Dragon Ball. I mean, y'all know me. Dragon Ball was literally my gateway anime. I still hold both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z in a special place in my heart. But even if it had just remained a manga, it would still be absolute fire. Like, Akira Toriyama truly is out here on some super artistic shit with the way he does this. The fact that animators were able to adapt that stuff at all and have it be anywhere near what it was in the manga with just still pictures. If you have not read any of the actual manga of anything Dragon Ball related, do yourself a favor and go read it. It's like that. It's just that simple. Anime was not made for Western audiences. If you can't understand the cultural difference and keep attacking Japan, you're fucking racist, period, point blank. Anime is a Japanese medium made by and primarily for Japanese people. Anime creators have even come out and said, yeah, we're aware of our audiences in the West, but we typically don't change things for them. And I think that's good. That means that they put stuff in there that they want to put in there. And they appreciate when people in other cultures like their stuff, but it's still their stuff, which means if you want to partake in this culture, you need to familiarize yourself with the culture so you can understand the jokes, the phrasing of things, the cultural landmarks and everything. And rather than taking it and trying to make it super Western, which i.e. is what they did in anime dubs pre-mid 2000s, which is why most of that stuff is just fucking memes now. Like all that shit we did in the 90s, all that we're gonna take rice balls and call them donuts. Like, no, we're not doing that shit. We're not renaming Usagi into Serena. Like, we're just not doing that, okay? This really gets on my nerves when we start talking about representation and feminism and stuff. Not only are the arguments head ass because they usually just aren't valid points, because the stuff they're claim is happening isn't happening. Does that mean there's zero problematicness in any of this stuff? No, it doesn't. Everything that exists is going to have some element of it that's problematic. But looking at things from a very Western perspective, and in this case a very politically extreme Western perspective, and being mad at them that they don't conform, it's peak millennial, it's peak Gen Z, it's peak head ass is what it is, okay? America has less respect on anime compared to every other country in the world. You know what, dog? You got a point. It seems like every anime fan I've talked to from around the world seems to come from a country where there's much more genuine, actual love and appreciation for the medium, as opposed to America, who seems to always oscillate between one of two extremes. We either try to westernize the shit out of it to make it more culturally, quote-unquote, appropriate, or we try to westernize it by sanitizing everything that we think is, quote-unquote, problematic about it. No, it's gonna be a no from me, dog. I'll just watch it. And this is honestly part of the reason why I'm more of a subs guy. And I always have been, even back in like middle school. I just stop trying to censor and sanitize everything, okay? Stop thinking that it's automatically sexist or racist. Just stop, okay? I love Madoka, but it ruined the magical girl genre. Ever since it came out, every new magical girl series decided it wanted to be dark and edgy, without understanding what made Madoka good. I missed the magical girl's biggest worry was that her math homework was due the next day. See, now this is something that is very, I'd say this is a complaint that we get up with a lot of Western stuff too, which is basically the past decade and some change has seen a huge influx of dark and gritty and edgy stuff where everything has to be deconstructed or shown in a new light that makes you see everyone as just being an asshole. And I do think that it's good to have things that do that. I think you can have something that deconstructs a thing, especially when the thing has been very, very popular for a long time. At some point, you kind of just, you've done so much the same way that it's gone from being a trope to a cliche to a fucking problem. And Madoka was a breath of fresh air for what it was. But in general, I think we can lay off the deconstructions for a while. It's completely fine to take things in a new, fresh direction, but that doesn't mean make everything dark and gritty and hopeless. This panel, greater than the entire industry. The Japanese anime community on Twitter is almost entirely civil. No one tries to cancel each other, and opinions about anime are civil and mature. I'm glad to be in that community where everything is quiet and peaceful. I have no idea if this is the truth because I don't speak Japanese, at least not fluently. But considering the amount of likes this shit has, they're probably right. I mean, the culture that birthed something is much more able to deal with it than folks on the outside. Westerners, people from other countries and stuff, even other people in different parts of Asia. When we are outside of the culture that birthed something, we're probably gonna have hotter and more toxic takes about it. Like, I'm just thinking as a Black American person who's loved rap and hip hop pretty much my whole life. Talking to people who aren't from here about hip hop, it's really one of the most daunting tasks I've ever taken on in my entire life. You talk to someone who's like from somewhere that really doesn't have you don't even necessarily have to be Black American, but I feel like if your part of the world doesn't at least have some kind of equivalent, some type of hip hop scene there, or if you're not someone who's like really knowledgeable about stuff the way that's happened in America, I feel like a lot of the discussion about hip hop is just people just saying literally anything. I do not think that hip hop is just perfect and is just above reproach. It is absolutely is not. There are a lot of things I could say about it. Maybe one day I will. In addition to that, the fact that you are removed from the culture and have extreme opinions about it, it means that not only will you be loud and wrong, you'll be loud and wrong and really not care about it. Like, you will just be out here firing off. I mean, the whole article talking about we need to have better female characters in anime. That's only a comment that I would expect to hear from an American anime industry person. The level of stupidity and hot takes and the inability to deal with someone who disagrees with you about said takes is something I do not expect to see from actual Japanese fans of anime. I really only see that from Western people. Really, I only see that from American people, if we're being 8,000% honest. I've seen it from some people, from other parts of the world, but in terms of like a community, it's just America. It's just the United States, because we do stupid shit like that. But then I've seen people who aren't Black or American say equally stupid things about rap. So I think it kind of just comes with the territory. But yeah, I definitely agree with this. Because if I have one more conversation about why we have to have more Black people in anime, I'm going to explode. And that's going to be all for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Make sure you keep it locked on this channel. If you like the bullshit and randomness that I've been talking about here, make sure you subscribe, ding that bell so you know whenever I'm dropping some new hotness or weirdness, and be sure to leave a comment. Let me know if you agree with any of these weeb takes or not. Do you have some hot weeb takes? Drop your hottest weeb take in the comment section. The spiciest one will be read on the next video. Well, the next video that I do that I'm actually making new, because my backlog is ridiculous, as I said earlier. But thanks for watching and listening. I'm Anime, and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.